is Dean Thompson, and welcome to another Escape to Gaming. Today I've got a really exciting, cool new game that came out on Xbox Live Arcade, the PlayStation Network, or PC, depending on what platform you want to play it on. And that is this new Call of Juarez Gunslinger. Now this is a review I wasn't even planning on doing. It's a game that I had followed for a while and planned on getting it day one. And I said it'll be a nice little $15 downloadable game. It'll be a lot of fun. And I like the concept. I love the franchise and had been looking forward to it. Now, of course, I'm one of the 12 people that actually liked the last Call of Juarez, the Cartel. Not many people cared for that because it departed radically from the Old West. Well, this, I'm happy to say, returns to the Old West and even does Bound in Blood in the original Call of Juarez one better, with, I think, really good, kind of a pulp dime novel storytelling and just a really grassroots, bare-bones arcade shooter. A return to an arcade shooter like I haven't seen in a long, long time.
There's a lot been said about the Far West. Some say it's untainted, akin to the virgin paradise of the lost Garden of Eden. Others, riding a little closer to this side of hell, say it's a land where only smallpox and outlaws prosper and thrive. One thing's certain. Myths grow higher here than cornstalk, and legends burn out faster than a beeswax candle. Legends. I've buried a few. My name is Silas Greaves, and this is my story.
So very much like Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon, this downloadable title is very, very polished. It's also very tongue-in-cheek as well, kind of like Blood Dragon, but you get your money's worth. In fact, I would even say I like it even better than Blood Dragon. And I like it better than Bound in Blood, Call of Juarez, and the Cartel. It's fantastic. This is the finest Old West arcade shooter I've ever played, hands down. I wasn't even going to do this review. I was so excited after playing. That's all I've done is play this game for the last 2 days now. In fact, I had to go sign papers in my house last night for hours, just boring as hell. And all I could think of, they had to constantly kind of wake me up because I kept daydreaming of getting back home and putting in this damn Gunslinger game. It's that fun. So you can play the game 3 different ways. You have a wonderful story mode where you play as a Silas Greaves. He's kind of an old school, Old West bounty hunter that kind of wanders into a bar, immediately surrounded because of his rep. And people notice him from these old dime store novels. And they say, oh, you're the famous Silas Greaves. Well, he sits down, a couple people buy him a beer, and he actually starts spinning these yarns and stories about Billy the Kid and Doc Holliday and the Clantons and all these famous gunslingers that he's interacted with in one way or another. You never really know whether he's really spinning a wild, story, if there's a little bit of truth in everything he's saying. And as the story progresses, sometimes he'll kind of change his memory, and all of a sudden something that was there is slowly erased, or oh, wait a minute, that wasn't like that, it was like this. And then it shows recreating the story with a new twist. So it's very interesting. It has a narrative that I haven't seen in any other games. It's very tongue-in-cheek. It doesn't take itself too seriously. It has a lot of these comic-style, pulp novel-style elements that are kind of laced throughout it as the storytelling actually progresses. And then it goes right into this kind of a really nice cel-shaded Borderlands-style art style that really makes the game. It has a fantastic look and feel and sound design and music of the Old West. The set pieces are fantastic. I mean, it's even better than Bound in Blood, which I thought was a phenomenal first-person shooter that took place in the Old West. This game is incredible. I can't rave enough about how great just the story mode alone is. Now, you have 3 skill trees that you can build up, kind of an RPG-style skill tree. So you can select, if you want to specialize in 6 shooters and handguns, you've got multiple ways you can slowly build up, kind of like Sleeping Dogs in a way. There's kind of a linear progression through each of the skill trees. So you have one with the handguns and 6 shooters. You can dual wield the handguns too, which is incredible. Then there's a long-range rifle skill tree that you can build that up. And then there's a really bitchin', kind of an up-close and personal sawed-off shotgun, pistol-in-the-face melee type skill tree where you can build up those attributes. So this game really encourages replay value big time. And if that's not enough, you have these wonderful collectibles, which are actually fairly hard to find. In fact, one of the skill trees will actually give you these little audio cues and visual cues when you get close to these little hidden collectibles. And what these are these really cool old playing cards that have the actual factual stories behind Billy the Kid, with old school photographs and several pages of stories of each of these characters that you encounter and take down in your little journey through this whole story that you're telling in this Abilene, Texas bar. It's fantastic. So if the story mode's not enough, you get this wonderful arcade mode, which are just really kind of a bare bones. They're some of the levels that you've already been through, but it's more focused on trying to get through them quickly, string together fantastic combos, XP, skill sets of how you can go for a headshot, throw dynamite, whip out a rifle. I mean, so you get more and more points, and it's fantastic. It's highly addictive. I've gone back and just redone the arcade mode a few times to see if you can get the scores down even more. So, and then that slowly also helps you to unlock some of the skill trees that you can use in the story mode. So it's very well layered, and it's a very well balanced game. I think that also just going and then jumping back into the story mode, again, the skill trees, you have noticeable, each of these effects that you can do with the guns, and some of them are bigger ammo clips, slightly better slow motion and focus, is fantastic. It also has a really cool, like they had in Cartel and Bound in Blood, there's a concentration meter. After getting, epic headshots and really stylish kills, you build up this meter, and he can go into this killer slow motion mode. Everyone is kind of highlighted in red. You only have a few seconds, but it helps you to get 2 or 3 quick headshots or body shots real quick. It's fantastic. I really love the way it's done. It's highly stylish. You also have another meter where it's kind of a last stand mode where you're almost cornered, you're near death. Someone shoots the final bullet at you. You have an option. You can use your left thumbstick and jump out of the way, left or right, to avoid the bullets. It's very, very stylish and very cool. Kind of a Matrix-like slow motion, kind of a gimmick. So the game really offers multiple ways to play the game, multiple ways to enjoy it. There are even, just kind of break up the monotony of it, even has a couple of really epic kind of quick time events where all of a sudden you're surrounded by enemies and real quick you got to hit a variety of right thumb buttons, which will correlate with what's going on the screen. If you do it right, you kind of kill everyone on the screen. It's very cool. So it tries not to be too monotonous. The game doesn't take itself too seriously. It's clearly an arcade shooter with all the XP and the different stylish little menus with old Western style fonts and lettering that pop up. There's little sparkles and fantastic sound design. I mean, of all of the shooters I've played, I don't think I've played one with a more satisfying punch to the guns and splatter when you hit people. You hear them moaning kind of in slow motion. When you hit them, they blow back. Blood sprays all over the wall or off the character himself. It's really wonderful. It's very, very stylish, very well done. I never, it ceases to amaze me how fun the game is. Every single kill you can do differently. There's different reactions that you'll get with the characters. Very violent, very visceral. That's what I love about the game. So if you want a really solid arcade shooter with some really cool upgradable RPG elements, and it's quite challenging too. Some of the boss fights are really tough. Quite often you have to use a combination of dynamite and twin handguns, quickly switch to a sawed-off shotgun or a rifle, and pick people off up high, down below, low, up close. All of a sudden someone rounds a corner. You got to quickly whip out a sawed-off shotgun, take their head off. It's fantastic. And if that's not enough, kind of near the end of each of the levels, you got these wonderful, kind of like they had in the Bound in Blood game, these wonderful draw mechanics where you use both right and left thumbsticks. One is to kind of hover your hand real close to your handgun, getting ready to draw. The other one, as a character is moving, it's kind of tricky. You got to keep your focus meter pretty much right on him, and it slowly narrows down towards his head or chest. And you got to kind of wait for him to draw first, so that way you can get an honorable kill. And you whip it out and just quickly take the dude out. It's fantastic. Some of them I've had to do a few times. But it's just one of the funnest draw mechanics I've ever seen, and it really encourages you to go back and try to get better scores. It scores everything through these leaderboards, so you can see how fast you're drawing, see how well your focus is on these concentration modes. It's very well done. This game is one of the finest, most well-balanced shooters I've ever played. I didn't even have to alter any of the settings for the sensitivity other than just changing my Y inverted axis thing. It's wonderful just the way it is. This game is highly polished. It's a game I easily would pay $60 or more for without thinking twice. It's really that good. I can't rave enough about it. I wasn't even going to do this basic game review. I actually had another one planned, but for 2 days, it's all I can think about is this game. I couldn't wait to tell you. And I know so many of my friends haven't even got it. It's like, oh, it's another downloadable title. I'll check it out one of these days. I can't rave enough about it. I mean, whatever it takes, go out and get this game, try it, download it for $15 for the cost of lunch. Honest to God, you'll have a wonderful experience. I can't wait to play it again. And again, you can go through and replay it, specializing more in shotguns or sawed-off shotguns, long-range sniping with rifles, more melee, any way you want. There's different paths. It's relatively linear, but you can go up high on these rocks and kind of look down at a mining little area or quarry, take people up from up above or down below, go down through mines. The hidden collectibles are quite well hidden, and it's just very well thought out. The sound design, like I said, the punch and the impact of the weapons when you shoot them. There's a slight slow motion, groaning of each of the characters. The way the characters pretty much are constantly kind of needling you and try to beckon you out to come out from behind cover is very entertaining. There's a lot of tongue-in-cheek humor in it. Sometimes he's going through a level, wait a minute, it didn't quite happen like that. And he goes through and recollects a little bit differently, and it kind of does a little backwards, and it backs up like a videotape, and then it shows what really happened, as his mind is, remembering things along the way. So it's very unusual. It's a really good shooter. Very well done. Fantastic graphics. Wonderful music. I even noticed some of the music was identical to what they used in Call of Juarez Cartel. They've actually recycled some of the music, I think, from Bound in Blood and Cartel, but they have a lot of new music, great sound design, all new visuals, and these characters, this Silas Greaves is actually somewhat more likable than even the McCalls were in Bound in Blood. So overall, this is a winner. I'd give this a very high rating. I mean, this year started out fantastic with some wonderful Game of the Year type titles like Tomb Raider and BioShock Infinite are fantastic. Some people love this new Injustice game, which I haven't played yet. But I'm telling you, for shooters and a return to old school arcade shooters, you can't beat it. Hands down, this game kicks ass. I highly recommend Call of Juarez Gunslinger. So if you want a fantastic game that you can play and replay many different ways, you get 3 different modes. You get a normal mode or hard mode. Once you beat the hard mode, it has an Old West mode. Now, I don't know if that's a diminished HUD. I don't know what comprises that mode. But this game has multiple ways to play it, multiple difficulties, very challenging boss fights, and it's just different. It's very different from anything else you've played. I would highly recommend it. So thank you very much for watching. Spend the whopping $15 and get this game. I guarantee you, you'll absolutely love it. It's fantastic. Thanks again for watching.